it was announced tonight that new WWE superstar Ronda Rousey inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame this year. What do you think about that, James?
I think it's interesting timing that they decided to just do this right now. I guess Ronda, I'm assuming, has given her indication that she's not coming back. I mean, we sort of knew that, but just for them to make this announcement now, I'm assuming this is probably attached to International Fight Week, where they want to sort of boost that up a little bit, because that's usually when they do the inductions and everything. So I think they're just like, you know what, we need a big name this year. We need to create some buzz around International Fight Week. So I think they just decided to go with it now. And, she's deserving, whether people want to, look at the losses she's had, in her exit of the UFC. She's definitely deserving for the period of time she did, and just for what she's done for women's mixed martial arts. But yeah, when I saw it, I was a little bit surprised, but now that I thought about it, it's kind of like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't think of many other more deserving candidates to headline than a Ronda Rousey, especially if she's done. And even at 31, I mean, we know that she was pulled from the UFC rankings. There's no way that she was in the USADA pool for the last year or so, even though they would not say that she was retired, but she still was in the UFC rankings, which is a weird thing to me, that she could be in the UFC rankings and be in the USADA, or not be in the USADA pool. And USADA won't comment on it for whatever reason. It's really weird. But if you're not getting tested, you shouldn't be in the rankings. I mean, flat out. And we'll see if those rankings even stick around after Fox deal is up. But because, I mean, they were the ones that pushed for it. But you look back, and Ronda Rousey had such great success with that title. I mean, she's credited with 6 UFC bantamweight title defenses, but really it was 7, because she beat Sarah Kaufman in Strikeforce, and that was the division. That was the primary women's division. And it's easy to look back and say that she was overrated then, but for so long, nobody had an answer for her judo. There was no answer to that, and her judo opened up her hands and made for some pretty great knockouts. And of course, you ran into really high-level, effective strikers in Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes that put that to a halt. So I'm looking forward to it. She seemed to be much more well-received by that crowd than she was by many UFC crowds towards the end of her run, James.
That's true, and the Chicago crowd was a little rough tonight. So the fact that there was some good reception there is good news. But I think the big thing, just quickly to talk on Rousey, the fact that she had that period where she had those really quick victories, and they sort of went viral. I think that really helped women's mixed martial arts, and it also just helped her stock as well. And I think if she won a couple fights by decision, it wouldn't have been the same effect that she had. And I think people need to focus on that. And that was pretty amazing, that period where she submitted Kat Zingano, or she submitted Kat Zingano. She defeated Sarah McMahon and Alexis Davis, all in that period where I think you could take all the fights and it was like less than 30 seconds. So that, to me, will always stand out in the history of the UFC and mixed martial arts.
I don't think her successful run in WWE has exactly hurt her relationship with fans as well. I think that helped rebuild some goodwill, because she stole the show at WrestleMania this year.